Hello, gentlemen. This is your weekly VIP update check-in. This is Coach Tim. Hope you guys had a great holidays, and if you're brand new to VIP, then welcome to you. Maybe you just completed your 6-week round. Maybe you're jumping back into VIP after being gone for a little bit, and you're wanting to get back on track. Whatever the case is, welcome to you. If you're a social media person, then jump into Facebook and find the men's VIP group and chime in on the conversation. If you watched Coach Mario's video last week, then you know that he talked about the importance of goals. He mentioned that a lot of people make New Year's resolutions. Sadly, most of those people are going to be bailing on those about the time that you watch this video. But the reason for that Mario talked about was because they might make a resolution, but they don't really have a roadmap to follow it. If you go to a gym, you know that the first few weeks of January are a madhouse with all the people who were there trying to lose the weight that they put on, and a lot of that comes during the holidays, and unfortunately their intentions might be great, but they don't really have a roadmap on how they're going to succeed over the long haul. You're in this, I hope, to help you as far as thinking about some of the specific ways that you can have a roadmap for your fitness goals in the coming year. And one of the things that I want to talk about is nutrition, not just setting your macros. It's one thing to have a proper nutrition level or calorie level that is fit with your desired goal, whether that's to maintain or to lose some weight or even to gain. But we need to talk about how you're going to do that. And that involves things like meal prep and things like considering the variety of your food. For instance, I've talked to some guys who are in a new round, and they're saying, "Oh, hey, it's just easier for me to eat the same thing every day." That might be easier for a while. In fact, some of you may be able to do that long term, but it's pretty rare that we could eat the same thing for all our meals for the long term and find success in that. Most of the time, what happens is when life is mundane, when it's too mundane, we get bored. We wish for something that would be a little bit more exciting, and that comes in the realm of food as well. And so I think it's important, while you may be able to sustain some boring foods that hit your macros, but don't have a lot of variety, you might be able to maintain that for a while. I don't think that that's a recipe for long-term success. And so what I suggest is that you find a rotation of meals that work for you. It might be something that requires a little bit more creative energy on your part to experiment a little bit, to think about what kind of recipes work, the kind of recipes that you're going to find that you like to eat and that also fit your calorie goals, your macro goals. That's going to take some experimentation. We have a vast library of recipes, as you know. If you haven't done some Google searching and you aren't finding what you want to find in the Fastaway library, well, then do a Google search. Look under paleo recipes, and you'll find recipes that work with our gluten-free, dairy-free approach to nutrition. and then adapt those. You can plug those into your macros. You can create a recipe in our app, and then you can use that. For me, I start with protein. What kinds of meats do I enjoy eating? Let me give you a couple tips. One of the things that that we ate on a regular basis when we first started in Fast Away was chicken breast. Obviously low in fat. It's high in protein. But I found a couple problems with chicken breast. Now, I like chicken breast when right off the grill. If it's cooked right, it's tender, juicy, it's flavorful. You can use sauces if you want. But what I found is that when I would save some of that chicken breast and try and use it in my meals for lunches, for leftovers, it's drier. It's drier when it's reheated. And so recently, what we have switched to as far as chicken is chicken thighs. Now you can get bone-in chicken thighs, or I know Costco anyway carries boneless chicken thighs. And I found that because there's a higher fat content, not too high, but higher definitely than chicken breast, a higher fat content in the chicken thighs, they freeze really well. You can freeze those, you can reheat them. They're still tender, not dry. Man, I used to eat reheated chicken breast for lunch, and I'd have to have a gulp of water with almost every bite, or tons of sauce, because it was just hard to choke down. It was literally hard to swallow. But chicken thighs, you're not going to find that with. One of the things that you'll need to do is find some protein sources that you enjoy eating. Otherwise, you're going to be choking it down. And what's going to happen is you're going to last for a while. And then sometime during the coming year, you're going to fall off the wagon because it's just too monotonous. And food is enjoyable. That's why we have taste buds. And so you need to find protein sources that you enjoy. We like salmon prepared correctly. Now, we're in the Pacific Northwest, so our salmon is pretty fresh. Maybe that's not something that you can get that tastes very good where you're from. But find a protein source that works. Begin your meal design, for lack of a better word, by choosing proteins and ways of preparing those proteins that work well. One of the things you can do, for example, with chicken thighs, you can bake up a batch, grill up a batch. I do them on the Traeger. And you can reheat those for lunches, or what you can do is take those, dice them up, cook them up, or reheat them, I should say, with some minor seasonings, and then serve them over rice with sauces that you enjoy. And remember that you're going to need to find sauces that work, that aren't full of sugar. One of the things that we've done to make a teriyaki sauce that works is to take coconut aminos, which are a substitute for soy sauce that don't have wheat in them. And then I add monk fruit to it. Heat it up with a little bit of monk fruit, sweetens it up like a teriyaki sauce. It's great over chopped up chicken thighs and rice. You can add some vegetables of your choice to that to make kind of a bowl, a teriyaki bowl. That's a great way to get both some carbs, some healthy carbs, and some protein at the same time. You're going to need to add some variety to your lunches as well. But I don't know, for me, I found that I can have a little bit less variety in my lunches, and as long as I've got good variety of taste with my dinners. And so we vary our dinners. We have meatloaf, which is a great meal on Mondays and Tuesdays, for example, or salmon, or ribs. Man, some smoked ribs work great for low carb days. Find something that you really enjoy this year, and then figure out your proteins that you really enjoy and find some recipes that taste really good. Because one of the things that kept me going at the beginning was not just the fact that I lost some weight, it was the fact that I ate really good food, and a lot of it. So if you want some tips on how to put together some meal plans, some recipes that really work, we have got tons of recipes. You can reach out to me anytime and I'll send you some. You could reach out to your coach, to Mario. You can look through the Faster Way app. But I am going to encourage you to not just dive in with kind of a grit your teeth and bear it mindset, but to make sure that you pursue this with the idea that it needs to be doable over the long haul. And to do that, you're going to need to eat things you enjoy. And I hope that you stick it out longer than the average person does with their New Year's resolutions this year. And one of the ways you're going to do that is to make a plan, make a roadmap. You can do it. We're here to support you. Reach out if you want some help and some tips. Hope you guys have a great week. Celebrate those wins this week, and we'll talk to you soon.